Like and subscribe. My posts are as much for the powers to be as it is for Hebrew Israelites and Gentiles. Understand this. The boycott against Asians is an attack on white supremacy and imperialism. It really has little to do with Asians, for they are no more than puppets of white supremacy, living in an idealized world of model minority. That's just the idealized world thought process. Understand this. The war in Ukraine, the war in Israel, the insurgents in Africa are all attacks on white imperialism. Understand this. White imperialism is a class action war. It is about the haves and the have-nots. It has nothing to do with poor whites, nor does it have anything to do with middle-class whites. This is a class war. And to prove my point, if this were about white supremacy, then Donald Trump would not have undermined white farmers who have been forced or idealized into a cult which supports white imperialism, which is to say the billionaires. That's who. Those are the white imperialists. They also had control of the Middle East. And they've lost control of the Middle East. I'm telling you this so that you will understand what is actually going on. And my message is to the white imperialists, or we can also call them the Judaeo-Christians. The Judaeo-Christians who have profited off of the teachings of Yahweh, the teachings of Moses, the teachings of Yahuwah, the teachings of Abraham, so on, so on, so on, and so on. So I'm not so much worried about subscribers, because my message really is an afterthought to what is going on today. So eventually, the Asian boycott is going to extend to all the minions of white supremacy. It's going to extend to, it has already defeated parts of the Middle East. They have been defeated already. Iran and Russia are doing Yahweh's work. Everywhere the United States is fighting or has fought. Russia's there. Russia is there doing Yahweh's work. The Vatican has remained quiet in all of this. And the question is, how much of these insurgencies and attacks are being funded by the Vatican? It is my opinion that the Vatican is playing both sides. Because I don't hear them speaking out against the genocide going on in Gaza. I don't hear them speaking out against it. It seems like they only give a message when a message is necessary. And that message is just a cover. The United States talking about releasing funds that belong to Iran back to them is just another smokescreen because the peace talks didn't work. The peace talks didn't work. Israel will never give up. Israel will never give up. It can't give up. It is psychologically unable to stop the genocide. And I believe it's somewhere in the Bible, it tells you that. They have, you see, it takes a cult to create a cult. It takes a cult to create a cult. I'm going to end here because what I'm saying, not everyone is going to understand. But those who have of a certain amount of spiritual integrity will be able to follow where I am going with this message. And most of my messages, a lot of them are incoherent to people who lack spiritual integrity. Because the simple fact of the matter is, MAGA, for instance, they lack spiritual integrity. They are still asking Donald Trump for help when he is their problem in the first place. And I'm going to end by saying this. Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, they've all been playing chess, preparing for these proxy wars while the United States and Donald Trump were playing hide and go seek with the Epstein files. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you when Yahweh has another message for me to deliver. Namaste.